They're laughing at us.
Sounds nice though, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't hear that in San Antonio. Of course you do, but you hear all the sirens and the vehicles and
Oh yes.
bark your dog.
Hey, what's your thing? And then if you could it'll dry out and you have to wait a minute. Take Michael.
I bet there are a set of parallel faults. One front and back, and then two on both sides of this. I should have mentioned down there we can see it at the bronze thing. I forgot about it.
So Paul, when these are here, these are just structures too?
I want to actually talk about those what you're looking at.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was just like, should I know what this is?
Okay, Dr. Freed mentioned physical weathering, and a lot of the stuff that goes on here is the physical weathering type. One of them, if you turn around and look at that mushroom-shaped rock up there, what happens is when it rains or morning dew and all that kind of stuff, it gets on the top of that rock and it drips down the side. The top dries out very quickly, so it doesn't have time for that water and any kind of acid that's in it to work on the top, but the sides tend to dry down a little bit slower, gives it more time to weather that rock, and that gives you that differential weathering of the rock that we see and making those mushrooms, they call them pedestals. So when you go up there, if you just drag your hand around the side, rocks will just fall right off it. But if you hit the top with your hammer or something like that, it's solid. So that's differential weathering because of the top being dry and the side of it not being dry. And that's that whole thing about water coming through the air, mixing with carbon dioxide, producing that weak acid, and that's what's working on these minerals, as well as the lichens and things like that. Also, another type of weathering, chemical weathering, is when that water hits the surface, it'll find locations where it can seep in. And if you listen, you can hear, like right here, notice how that gets hollow? Well, that water is finding a way in and starting to work underneath that and is also eroding it. Pretty soon, this little piece of slab will bust off, and right over here where Margaret's standing, you can see kind of a larger area where that has taken place already. So this is a chemical weathering taking place that shears off thin pieces of the surface of this rock. You know, you can see some going on right here. You can probably lift up on these, and that'll come right off of there. Okay. So that's chemical weathering occurring there. Now, if we just go around to where this tree is, you'll see a real nice picture of physical weathering from roots.